When I was a young man, I had liberty, but I did not see it. I had time, but I did not know it. And I had...
Chronos Before The Ashes is an adventure RPG game developed by Gunfire Games. These guys brought us Darksiders 2 and 3. If you think you might have heard the title Chronos before, then that's true because Chronos has been released 2016 as a VR game for PC. 2020, THQ announced an overhauled version of the game. This time the game has a third-person perspective and is also the prequel to Remnant from Ashes, which is also developed by Gunfire Games. In my review, I'll give you an overall look about the game and if it's worth buying or not. The story is about a young warrior who tries to protect his homeland from the ancient evil. For this, he or she needs to enter a mystical labyrinth which is full with fearsome creatures and riddles. Before heading your way into the dangerous labyrinth, the game lets you configure somewhat your character. You can choose the gender, standard weapon and difficulty. I picked heroic, which is the hardest. Your character can perform light and strong attacks. If you parry or dodge enemy swings with perfect timing, you can counter them with powerful strikes. You can also just simply block attacks, but that will cost you stamina. Stamina is depleted also when you sprint, surprisingly not when you attack or dodge. Above the stamina gauge is your life bar, and once depleted your character will die and respawn 1 year later in one of the labyrinth's checkpoints. The more you die, the older your character gets. While it's easy to build agility and strength at a young age, it becomes more difficult when you are old. This sounds very logic, but how does that work in the game? Well, as your character levels up, it gains points which can be distributed into strength, agility, arcane, vitality. When your character is young, strength and agility can be upgraded with 1 point, and as you get older, you'll have to invest 2 or 3 points to level up that specific attribute. However, with old age, your character becomes wiser and arcane costs less experience points to level up. For every decade your character is aging, you can choose between 3 perks. I know the aging mechanic is the biggest point in the game people are interested right now, but I have to mention here the puzzles and riddles, which in my opinion are so fun. For example, you have to get a key in order to unlock doors, but it's locked in the closet. So you have to enter a magical mirror which makes your character shrink. In order now to get to the key, you have to fight through little toy soldiers. The other guys. Also, you have to find and combine objects and bring them to the right place in order to move forward in the labyrinth. You'll not only find objects to unlock doors, but also new weapons which can be upgraded with dragon shards. Your character gets the so-called dragon powers. Depending on that power, your character gets a little boost in combat. For such a small game, the overall design looks very good. Not only enemies, but also your character looks cool. The older he gets, the cooler he looks actually. This overall sounds like an adventure you cannot pass, but let me explain first the negative points before making your way to the labyrinth. Sadly, I have to tell you that this might be the game with the clunkiest controls I have played this year. You'll get the hang out of it in a couple of hours, but till that happens, it's just painful and frustrating. Your character moves with 18 years already like an old man. This is something I don't really understand. The game lets you age 1 year, but it doesn't really matter. Your character doesn't matter if he is 20, 30, 40, 50 or even 60, he will move and behave the same. You might think, well, with 60 years, he might be a bit slower, but guess what? When your character reaches 60, you'll be able to unlock the agility perk, which makes him even more quicker and effective on his feet. If you spend your whole life fighting, age is just a number, but I really wish that age would be noticeable. Like being really quick and agile when reaching prime and maybe slower but stronger when reaching 40s. But overall, it felt like your character is just getting a new skin. The game just throws you into this world which is overall very interesting, but it doesn't give you any answers at all. Not even when you finish the game. You have no clue what is happening, and the more you play, the more questions you ask yourself. Like, who created this labyrinth anyway? Where does this threat come from? And more importantly, where is the character this whole year when he dies? Is he in a hyperbolic chamber like Dragon Ball Z training or something? Or is he just a ghost somewhere waiting till the checkpoint spits him out? The loading time, by the way, makes you feel like you are aging with your character because it takes 1.5 minutes every time to respawn. I needed 8 hours to beat the game, but I have to admit I was stuck for 2 hours. This might sound not so hot, but this game has definitely some replay value, since it has here and there still some secrets you can discover. And also, let's be fair, this game costs only 30 bucks. So my final verdict for Chronos Before the Ashes is a 6 out of 10. The promised aging mechanic could have handled better execution, and the controls were maybe a mess, but the mysterious story, the very nice riddles, kept me motivated through the game. Mucha thank you for watching my review, and see ya.